We've got Stephen Adkins here today from Virtual Christianity.
Hey, Leah, it's great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about Virtual Christianity and your nonprofit.
Yeah, so Virtual Christianity is a nonprofit, and this is its core mission, to help established Christian teachers be successful with their online ministries.
Wonderful. I love that. What do you mean by an online ministry?
So Christian teachers usually know how to do all these things. They know how to create great, inspiring Christian messages. They know how to present those messages. They often know how to get them recorded as a video and uploaded to YouTube, maybe even organized in a YouTube playlist. But usually teachers want more than that. And this goes beyond their skill set. There are a lot of technical things that they really want. They want to be able to collect and assemble a group of students to take their courses. They want to be able to monitor how well are the students doing in their courses. Are they actually making progress? Do they quit midway through the first episode or the first lesson? They want to be able to interact with their students. They want their students to be able to take the courses in community with one another. And these are things that a playlist on YouTube just doesn't meet. It doesn't meet those needs. Plus, there are all these other things like their websites and their social media and there's their learning management systems. And these are things that are just not in the skill set of a typical Christian teacher, or it's something they don't want to spend their time working on.
So this is for teachers?
Well, I do serve students, teachers, and donors. Okay, students, because that's really the priority. We all want to have an online world where students can really, really benefit from all the rich resources that are available out there. And we want to help them find those resources. We want to help them engage with those resources in a way that truly changes their lives, not just entertains them for a moment or gets them through a workout or a drive to work. So we're really serving the students. But in order to serve the students, we need to serve the teachers. And so that's where Virtual Christianity really focuses its energies, is serving the teachers in order to serve the students. But oftentimes, teachers with their teaching ministries have a variety of donors who want to support them in their efforts. And so we also serve donors. We give certain services to donors so that it all works together and the teachers can do their job in meeting the needs of students.
Well, I see that you've come a long way in the last year. Tell me about your online courses.
So online courses are different than a playlist in this. Have you ever listened to a podcast or listened to a lesson on YouTube and you thought, wow, that was really interesting, but did your life really change?
Right.
And that's the difference between an online playlist, which is better than miscellaneous YouTube videos that you just happened to find when you searched. That's the difference between an online playlist and real courseware. You know, I myself have learned a lot from listening to podcasts and YouTube playlists, but I really, in order to change, in order to make progress, I need something more structured, more formal, more transformational in its design, and that's what I call online courseware. So it's generally a sequence of lessons with exercises, with the ability for students to interact in community, and it's a way whereby the students can interact with the instructor, if there is one, so that the instructor can follow the students' progress and assist them on their way.
I really like that it's in community and that you get to interact with the instructor. It's wonderful. So tell me about your management systems.
The learning management systems?
Yes, the learning
management so simply put, a learning management system is a website that hosts online courseware. So if a learning management system is set up well for the students, then people will be able to come, and we're talking about people who are seeking God or Christians who want to grow in their Christian walk. They ought to be able to come to the learning management system. They ought to be able to see a bunch of courses that they could take. So they ought to be able to search for these courses. They ought to be able to enroll for these courses. They ought to be able to pay for the courses if they're for pay courses. And they ought to be able to take those courses, to track their progress, and to be able to interact with others. So a learning management system, simply put, is a place that hosts, a website that hosts online courseware. One of the things I wanted to say also is that we have a lot of experience with helping teachers evaluate learning management systems. There are a lot of them out there. And we've actually set up one. It's at virtualchristianity.net. And we have some experiences. We've worked with the Atlanta School of Missions at the North River Church of Christ to set up some courses on their part of the learning management system. We've worked with the MTA West Africa, the Ministry Training Academy in West Africa, to set up courses for their staff across the western part of Africa. And we're currently working with Michael Burns and the Dallas-Fort Worth Church to set up a series of courses that he's designing for their congregational use. So there are lots of opportunities that we have for teachers to engage with us in some sort of pilot project. Furthermore, we continue to search for how do we make this experience better and better. The learning management systems that we have may not cover every need that a teacher has. So we continue to search for how can we make the experience better and better.
That's great. What about websites?
Ideally, every teacher, group of teachers, church, ministry within a church, a small group maybe of Christians, maybe even small Bible colleges. They need websites. They need a website in order to get their message out. And so what we've done is we've built our website in such a way that it would be able to help other people have their websites hosted in a way which is simple, attractive, mobile friendly, and doesn't cost much money. We've also worked with more traditional web hosting services to provide websites for some of our clients. And we've helped out in particular some of the churches in West Africa, in Ghana, in Liberia, in Gambia. So we do a lot of things to help teachers and groups get set up with their websites. And let me add that the first and most important way to get your message out there once you've got a website is to have good search engine optimization on your website. So there's that.
I think that's a great way to help small ministries grow. So thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
And what about social media? I know that's important. How important is that?
Yeah, beyond search engine optimization for your website, social media is really important for reaching out to people online. But one of the real tricks with social media channels is that you really have to be consistent with them. And you need to be able to design your social media to be attractive for a social media audience. And these are things that established Christian teachers often don't have that much experience in, or they don't have the time for, or they don't have the tools and technical capabilities for. So we provide these kind of services to help them keep their social media channels humming. And the idea is to reach people where they are, to attract them, to not only get out the message that the teacher has, but then to attract people to come take these online courses that they've designed. We also have relationships with independent contractors who we can hook up with our clients if they have expertise that we don't have. But we also have a lot of expertise with online social media campaign management and online social media engagement management so that we can interact with the people who are responding on the social media channels to the social media campaign that we've begun. So we do a lot to help people actually turn comments on social media channels into tangible contacts and interested parties, and we help them through the process of then enrolling on a course and perhaps paying for that course. So there's a lot of work that goes into converting interest on a social media channel into actual students on your online courseware.
It does sound like a lot of work. So how much does this all cost for the teachers, and do students have to pay?
Well, right now, Virtual Christianity is really focused on and dedicated to helping the teachers be successful with their online ministries. So we're involved in pilot projects. You could call it beta tests with people to really understand what does it cost us to provide the services so that teachers can be successful. And we're figuring out how much it's going to cost us. And obviously, it's going to cost the teachers or churches or groups something, but we're still figuring out the pricing plan. Now, we do expect that most of our teachers are going to want to provide their courseware for free to their students, maybe to the public. But some of them may want to charge a fee, maybe for all of their courses or for just some of their advanced courses. In any case, we want to be able to do all the hard work to handle all the online payments so that they don't have to deal with that.
What if the teachers have donors and they need donors and they want to attract donors so that they can have their online teaching ministries happen?
Right. So there are two ways that we serve donors. One is if a teacher comes to us, they say, hey, I've got all these donors, they want to support my work, and can you help us? What we do is we set up a project administratively within Virtual Christianity that is focused on that particular teacher's work. Okay, and then donors can donate to Virtual Christianity and restrict that donation to that particular project.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we end up paying, Virtual Christianity ends up paying the teacher as an independent contractor. And this way the donors can make tax-deductible write-offs because it's Virtual Christianity as a U.S. nonprofit. But the teacher doesn't have to go through all the administrative overhead of setting up a nonprofit, filing taxes for it every year, et cetera, et cetera. So this is one way, through restricted donations to Virtual Christianity. Another way, have you ever heard of a donor-advised fund? Do you know what that is?
No, I've never heard of it.
So this is another way that we can serve donors. It may be that a donor really wants to support Christian causes or Christian nonprofits, and they come by some windfall of money. They know they want to give a certain amount of it away, and they need to do so in the first year if they're going to get the tax write-off associated with that. But they may not know who exactly do they want to give all this money to. That's where donor-advised funds come in. Okay, a donor-advised fund is generally set up, it's set up within a sponsoring organization of donor-advised funds, which Virtual Christianity is such a sponsoring organization. Someone would make a donation to Virtual Christianity and designate it as being for a fund that they are going to continue to advise. So they've already donated the money. It's no longer their money. They can take the tax write-off in the year that they donated the money, but they can advise Virtual Christianity in future years where they want us to forward the money to. Now, it would have to go to another U.S. nonprofit, a church or established ministry. But that's what a donor-advised fund is. And it means that Virtual Christianity would invest it on their behalf so it could continue to grow, but they continue to advise where the money gets dispersed to through a process called grant requests. Now, one of the advantages of Virtual Christianity, and a reason why someone might come to us instead of just a big financial institution, because there are many, I mean, most banks, they offer these donor-advised funds, is that with a big financial institution, you're probably not going to get a very aggressive or very large rate of return. Okay, it's very, very conservative. But if a donor of Virtual Christianity wanted us to invest the money in a higher return investment vehicle, then they could do that by establishing a Virtual Christianity donor-advised fund. And we have donors who are already doing this.
That's a wonderful program. I love what you all are doing. It's wonderful to hear that you are equipping them, equipping the person, the teacher, the student, and the donors. It's fabulous. I am so moved by all this continuous help, you know, in all these different areas. And then not only that, but you're allowing the money that is donated to grow and to also be given. So you're giving an overflow from what is happening. It's just wonderful. It's great.
And let me add that people can also give unrestricted donations to Virtual Christianity by going to the website.
It has been wonderful to interview you, and you've come a long way. You've done a lot of work with Virtual Christianity. Yes. Where can people find you?
So the website is the best place to keep up with what we're doing. It's virtualchristianity.org. People can send a message to me either using the form, the contact form on the website, or they could send it directly to me at Stephen@virtualchristianity.org. That's Stephen with a PH, STEPHEN @virtualchristianity.org.
Thank you, Stephen. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Leah.